Hey there, coin enthusiasts and casual pocket change explorers. Did you know that a simple penny could turn you into a millionaire? Sounds wild, right? Today, we're diving into the incredible story of the 1964 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, yes, the one that could fetch a jaw-dropping $1.1 million on the market today. But wait, before you start rummaging through your couch cushions or raiding your grandma's coin jar, stick around. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. Trust me, you don't want to miss a single tip. Let's turn your pocket change into life-changing money. Let's roll it back to 1964. The Beatles were taking over the world, color TV was the height of luxury, and people still actually wrote letters. Meanwhile, the Denver Mint was busy churning out Lincoln pennies with a tiny D mint mark under the date. These weren't your average pennies, though. Some of these coins were struck with rare errors or on experimental planchets, making them insanely valuable decades later. And now, here's where it gets juicy. Certain 1964 D pennies ended up being so unique that collectors today are willing to shell out over $1 million for them. Imagine that, a penny worth more than your house. Alright, let's get to the $1 million question. What makes this penny so valuable? Look for doubling on the date, letters, or Lincoln's profile. It's called a double die, and it's like the coin's way of saying, hey, I'm special. Some 1964 pennies might have been struck on leftover silver planchets by accident. That's right, this humble penny could actually have a bit of bling. The shinier, the better. If your penny looks like it just rolled off the press yesterday, you're in luck. Coins graded as MS, mint state, are worth way more than ones that look like they've been through a washing machine. Now here's a little confession. I used to think all my pennies were worthless. One day, I was at my grandma's house helping her clean out old jars. You know, the ones filled with buttons, safety pins, and random coins. As I dumped out a jar, a shiny 1964 D penny caught my eye. I thought, could this be the one? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But you bet I spent the next 3 hours Googling coin values and dreaming of buying a yacht. That's when I realized something important. Every penny tells a story, and some of those stories are worth a lot of money. Alright, now it's your turn to play treasure hunter. Here's what you need to do: look closely at the mint mark, the date, and Lincoln's profile. Any oddities? That's your clue. A regular penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If it's lighter or heavier, you might have something special. If you think you've hit the jackpot, send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll let you know if it's the real deal. So, why are collectors willing to pay over $1 million for this tiny piece of metal? Simple: rarity and demand. Coins like these are the unicorns of the numismatic world. When collectors see one, they have to have it. And if two collectors want the same coin? That's when bidding wars drive the price sky-high. So, there you have it, the story of the 1964 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny that's worth a whopping $1.1 million. Who knew something so small could pack such a big financial punch? Now, here's the deal: don't just toss your pennies aside like they're worthless. Give them a closer look. You never know what treasure you might find. And hey, if you do find $1 million penny, promise me you'll come back and share your story in the comments. Before you go, hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more videos coming your way on valuable coins, money-making strategies, and all the tips you need to strike it rich with pocket change. Who knows? Your next big payday could be jingling in your pocket right now. Imagine this: you're at a yard sale, and you spot a dusty old jar full of pennies. You sift through it, finding a few tarnished old coins, and just as you're about to toss the pile back in the jar, one penny catches your eye. It's from 1988, no mint mark, just sitting there, waiting for you to discover its $1 million secret. Sounds like a dream, right? But what if I told you this penny could actually be worth, wait for it, $1.1 million? Yep, you heard that right, $1.1 million. Stick around, because today, we're diving into this rare gem and how it could change your coin collection forever. Alright, before we get all starry-eyed about the $1 million value, let's take a second to talk about what makes this penny so special. So, the 1988 penny. It's just like any other penny you'd find in your pocket or your piggy bank, right? Well, not quite. You see, this penny was produced in 1988 without a mint mark, which is a little odd. Normally, pennies made in the US feature a mint mark to show where they were made: D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and P for Philadelphia. But for some reason, in 1988, some pennies rolled off the press with no mint mark at all. Spooky, right? Now, here's where things get interesting. While most of the pennies made that year are your standard, run-of-the-mill copper coins worth, well, a penny, this little guy has a unique trait: it's a mystery penny. For coin collectors, that's like finding a hidden treasure map in your cereal box. And when a coin is rare and not marked with a mint symbol, it instantly becomes a hot commodity. But wait, I know what you're thinking: a penny without a mint mark? Isn't that like finding a needle in a haystack? Exactly. It's the rarity that makes it valuable. If you think about it, most coins have their mint marks clearly stamped for a reason: it helps identify their origin. But this particular penny slipped through the cracks in the system. A little mistake that turned into a big payoff for the lucky few who discovered it. So, you might be wondering, why is this penny worth so much? Here's the thing: it's not just because it's from 1988 or because it has no mint mark. It's about supply and demand. There are only a handful of these bad boys out there. And when the supply is low and the demand is high, prices go up. Way up. Right now, some of these 1988 no mint mark pennies have sold for a whopping $1.1 million. Yep, $1 million for something that, a few decades ago, was just a regular penny rolling around in people's pockets. So, you better believe that coin collectors are willing to fork out some serious cash for one of these. Now, I know you're all thinking, where do I get one of these, and do I have a 1988 penny hiding in my drawer? Well, lucky for you, this is where I come in. First off, don't go raiding your piggy bank just yet. While it's tempting to imagine you've got a mint condition gold mine sitting under your nose, there are some key details you need to know to verify if your penny is the real deal. First, check the date. If it's 1988, you're in the right decade. Second, look for the absence of a mint mark. If there's nothing, that's a great start. But remember, these coins are also heavily sought after, so make sure to have it verified by a professional, or you might find yourself with a coin that's worth, well, more like 1 cent. Speaking of finding treasure, I'll tell you a little story. A few years back, I was at a flea market, just browsing around, like any normal day. I stumbled upon a box full of old coins, and there was this one coin that looked interesting. It wasn't a 1988 penny, but it was something similar. I remember thinking, this looks like it's worth something. I took it to a coin dealer and guess what? Turns out it was worth 50 times more than I'd paid for it. Now, I wasn't going to retire on it, but it was a reminder that sometimes, finding hidden treasure doesn't require an ocean expedition, just a trip to the right market. Moral of the story: keep your eyes open, because you never know what's sitting in a jar or a box of old coins. So, to sum it up, the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny is one heck of a rare find, and if you come across one, you could be holding onto a piece of US coin history worth a whopping $1.1 million. It's all about rarity, and this penny? It's a rare gem. But hey, don't go running to check every penny you own just yet. There's a whole world of valuable coins out there, and I'm here to help you discover them. If you enjoyed learning about this $1 million coin, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on more tips about coins worth big bucks, hidden treasures, and strategies to make your coin collection worth way more than just pocket change. Also, if you've ever found a crazy valuable coin, share your story in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your lucky finds. And until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and maybe, just maybe, that $1 million penny is waiting for you to find it. Hey everyone! So, you're sitting there, maybe having a snack, or just scrolling through the endless sea of cat videos, and you find yourself thinking, what the heck is up with these old pennies? Well, you might want to grab that jar of coins you've been hoarding for years, because today, we're talking about a coin that might just be worth way more than you ever thought. Yep, I'm talking about the 2003 no mint mark Lincoln penny. It's not your ordinary pocket change, folks. In fact, this little penny could fetch you a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. Yep, you heard me right. $1 million for a penny. Now, hold on, I know what you're thinking: that can't be real. This guy's pulling my leg. But trust me, it's all true. Stay tuned, because we're about to dive deep into this goldmine of a coin and discover how this humble penny turned into a golden ticket. Okay, let's get one thing straight. Not every 2003 penny is worth $1.2 million. That would be insane. Imagine if it was. I'd be selling pennies for a living, and I'd probably be living on a yacht somewhere, sipping margaritas. But there's a very specific version of this penny that is worth that much. You're looking for the 2003 Lincoln penny with NO mint mark. Usually, all pennies have a little letter D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But this particular one, this little guy, has no mint mark at all. Just a regular old penny, with some serious value behind it. But now, you might be thinking, how is that even possible? It's just a penny. Well, here's the scoop. The absence of the mint mark makes this coin super rare. It wasn't supposed to happen, and that's what makes it so special. The theory is that a few coins accidentally slipped through the production process in 2003 without the mint mark. It wasn't like they made a whole batch of them that way. No, just a small handful, and that is where the value comes in. It's a mistake. A happy little mistake, if you will. And who doesn't love a good mistake in the coin world, right? Here's where it gets even better. Imagine walking into a coin shop, or better yet, an auction house, with a 2003 penny, and the expert there says, "Wait a minute, hold on, this is a no mint mark penny. Let me grab my magnifying glass." And boom! You've got yourself a fortune. It's like finding a winning lottery ticket that you didn't even know you had. Honestly, I once found a $5 bill in my coat pocket that I had forgotten about, and I felt like I won the lottery. I can't imagine the feeling if I'd found a $1.2 million penny. My heart would probably stop. But before you start running around your house looking through every penny you've got, let me remind you, not every 2003 penny with no mint mark is worth $1.2 million. In fact, it's really rare to find one. The ones that do get this kind of valuation are usually in mint condition. So, if your penny looks like it's been run over by a car and had coffee spilled on it, then you might not want to start booking flights to the Bahamas just yet. But if it's in good shape, like really good shape, that's when you know you've hit the jackpot. Of course, you don't need to be an expert to spot a valuable coin. That's where you come in. You can take a magnifying glass to your pennies, do a little research, and if you think you found one, get it appraised. But here's the trick, it's not always about having a rare coin. It's about knowing what to look for and being persistent. My buddy Dave, for instance, he was always the kind of guy who'd put his change in a jar and forget about it. One day, while he was cleaning out his garage, he found an old box of coins from when he was a kid. And guess what? One of those pennies turned out to be worth over $500,000. He wasn't even looking for a rare penny, it was just sitting there waiting for him. Pretty crazy, right? So, there you have it. The 2003 no mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just any old coin. It's a rare find that could make you a millionaire, or at least put you on the map of valuable coin collectors. But before you start digging through your couch cushions or trying to turn your loose change into a treasure chest, remember that finding one of these is like finding a needle in a haystack. You've got to know what you're looking for, keep your coins in good shape, and of course, be patient. If you're serious about coin collecting or just want to see what other hidden gems are out there, be sure to hit that subscribe button right now. Because trust me, I've got more tips and insider secrets about valuable coins just like this one coming your way. And hey, who knows? The next time you find a penny in your pocket, you might be holding on to a small fortune. So, don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications, because I'll be back with more coin treasures. Hey, what's up, fellow coin collectors and treasure hunters? Now, I know what you're probably thinking, what could possibly be so special about a penny, right? It's just a small piece of copper, easy to overlook, right? Wrong. Buckle up, because in today's video, we're diving into the jaw-dropping world of a penny that could actually be worth a small fortune, like over $1 million. Yes, you heard me right. That little shiny 2017 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny you have hanging out in your pocket might be worth more than your car. Stick around, because I'm about to reveal how this humble coin is making collectors flip out, And maybe, just maybe, you'll be looking at your change in a whole new light. Alright, let's slow things down and break this down a bit. First of all, you might be wondering, how on earth can a 2017 penny be worth $1.3 million? I mean, come on, isn't this just a regular penny, the one you see everywhere, clinking around in the bottom of your purse, getting stuck in the couch cushions? Yes, but this one's different, you see. It all comes down to a series of extremely rare conditions and a little thing we call the D mint mark. The D stands for Denver, where this penny was minted. Normally, the 2017 D Lincoln penny would be worth, well, 1 cent, go figure. But there's a very specific group of these coins that have a tiny flaw that makes them incredibly valuable to collectors. And I'm not talking about the fact that they've just been hanging out in a dusty old jar since 2017. No, this coin is special because of a small minting error that, if you get your hands on it, could make you an instant millionaire. Now, I know what you're thinking, minting error? Is this like the time I accidentally printed a bunch of concert tickets with a typo and gave away free passes? I really hope that didn't happen to you, but you get the idea. These types of errors aren't just a mistake. They're what makes certain coins worth far more than their face value. So, what is this minting error exactly? Well, this is where things get really interesting. There's a particular 2017 D Lincoln penny that somehow ended up with a rare double die error. It's not something that happens every day. In fact, it's so rare that finding one in circulation would be like finding a unicorn in your backyard. Unexpected, magical, and pretty darn incredible if it happens. So if you're wondering, how do I know if I have one of these elusive double die pennies? Well, there's a telltale sign to look for. The double die error causes the words, the date, and sometimes even the image of Lincoln to appear slightly doubled or blurry. And when I say slightly, I mean you'll really have to pay attention. This isn't something that's obvious from just glancing at it. It's subtle but enough to make numismatists, that's a fancy word for coin collectors, by the way, lose their minds when they find one nut. If you're lucky enough to find this rare 2017 D penny, you'll see the value shoot up dramatically. A regular penny is worth, well, 1 cent. But with that error, it can easily fetch up to $1.3 million. Yes, you read that right. A coin that costs you literally 1 cent could end up making you a millionaire. So, if you've got a jar of loose change somewhere, it might be worth going through it, because you never know what hidden gems you might find. Now, let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I was just like you, thinking that pennies were just, well, pennies. They'd pile up in my car cup holder, under the couch, and in the pocket of every jacket I owned. I used to toss them aside like they were no big deal. And then, one day, I was at a yard sale, just browsing, looking for old records and quirky antiques, and guess what I saw? A mason jar filled with what looked like ordinary pennies. Something told me to check them out. Now, I didn't think I'd find $1 million coin, but I figured, what's the harm in taking a look? I dug through the jar, and after about 10 minutes of sifting through copper and zinc, I found a penny that caught my eye. The lettering looked a little off, and the date looked a bit blurry. Was it a double die error? No, unfortunately not, but I sure did learn that day how easily you could overlook a valuable coin hiding right under your nose. The lesson here? Always check your change, folks. It's easy to dismiss these pennies as junk, but a small minting error can turn them into serious money. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, why on earth is something like this worth so much? Here's the thing, the market for rare coins is really all about scarcity and demand. The rarer the coin, the more people want it. And when it comes to minting errors, collectors will pay top dollar to own something that's considered one of a kind. With only a handful of these 2017 D pennies out there, the competition to get one is fierce. It's like trying to get tickets to your favorite concert when they sell out in minutes. Everyone wants in, and that drives the price up. So, here's the deal, if you've got a 2017 D penny, do yourself a favor and take a closer look. Get a magnifying glass, inspect it for any double die errors, and who knows, you could be sitting on a small fortune. If you love hearing about valuable coins, hidden treasures, and tips for finding those rare finds, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on future videos where we dive deep into the world of coins worth serious cash. I'll be sharing more tips, stories, and of course, the strategies you need to find your very own hidden gems. And hey, if you found this video helpful or entertaining, or maybe both, leave a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and drop a comment below telling me about your most exciting coin discovery. I'll catch you in the next one, or who knows, maybe we'll uncover another $1 million penny. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Have you ever wondered if that random penny you found in the parking lot could be worth a fortune? You know, the one you've probably tossed around in your pocket for years, or even worse, tossed into the penny jar at home. We all have one, don't lie. Well, what if I told you that a 1965 Abraham Lincoln penny with no mint mark could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million? Yes, you heard that right, $1.4 million. No, it's not a typo. You might want to check your pockets after this video, so grab a snack, sit back, and let's dive into the world of valuable pennies, because that pocket change of yours might be hiding a treasure that'll make you rich beyond your wildest dreams. Let's break it down. The 1965 Lincoln penny might seem like just another coin you'd forget about. After all, it's not rare like some of those old coins from the early 1900s, right? Well, turns out, this little guy is a lot more special than we first thought, and here's why. 1965 was a major transition year for US coinage. The mint had been making changes to the coins to improve production and deal with shortages. But that's where things get interesting. Some of the 1965 pennies were struck without any mint mark, and that's where the value comes into play. Here's the kicker: this rare penny, without a mint mark, is typically found in circulation by mistake, and that's what makes it worth up to $1.4 million. You see, most of the 1965 pennies were made with a mint mark, so the ones without one are few and far between. The story behind it is kinda wild, too. These rare pennies were just a product of some coin-making quirks during that year. Now you're probably wondering, why is this penny worth so much? It's just a penny. Well, my friend, that's where the fun begins. The value of a coin is determined by a combination of factors like rarity, demand, and condition. And this 1965 no mint mark penny checks off all the boxes. First, we've got rarity. Since only a small number of these 1965 pennies were struck without a mint mark, there just aren't that many out there. When you combine that rarity with the demand from collectors, especially those who are trying to complete their sets, the price skyrockets. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, but when you find it, it's golden. Second, condition plays a major role. Coins in mint condition, especially ones that have been well preserved over the years, can fetch a premium price. A 1965 no mint mark penny in pristine condition could easily bring in a serious chunk of change. And now, I know what you're thinking. Well, how do I know if I have one of these $1 million pennies? Don't worry, we're getting to that. Okay, now let's talk about how you can actually find this rare gem. Picture this: you're going through your old penny jar, right? You've probably got a stack of dusty pennies from the 60s, and you're looking for that sweet jackpot. When searching for the 1965 no mint mark penny, you're looking for three things. First, it's gotta be from 1965, I know, that's a given. Second, it needs to have no mint mark. That's the key. Most pennies from this year have a mint mark, but yours will have nothing, nada, zip. The third thing? Condition, my friend. This is where it gets a little tricky. The more pristine the penny, the more valuable it is. So don't go tossing those pennies in the laundry just yet. If the penny's still shiny and has minimal wear, you've got something special. And now, let me tell you a quick story. A while back, I was digging through a box of old coins my grandpa gave me. Honestly, I wasn't expecting anything too wild, mostly just some 80s pennies and a few nickels that had seen better days. But then, I stumbled upon a 1943 penny. I thought, oh, cool, a wartime penny, and tossed it in a pile. Fast forward to a few weeks later when I learned that 1943 pennies are extremely valuable in certain conditions. To this day, I kick myself for not paying more attention. But hey, lesson learned. So, if you're even remotely thinking your 1965 pennies could be worth a fortune, you might want to do a double-take. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? If you find a 1965 penny with no mint mark tucked away in your coin jar, you could be sitting on a $1.4 million treasure. Yes, it's that easy, or should I say, that rare, and while the odds of finding one are slim, it's always worth checking your change before you spend it. You never know what could be worth a fortune. Before you go, if you love learning about rare coins and finding out which pennies and nickels are worth big money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on future tips and coin hunting strategies. I've got loads of secrets to share, and who knows, you could be the next coin millionaire. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep hunting, and keep stacking those pennies, just in case they're worth more than you think. Hey, coin collectors, future millionaires, and penny pinchers, what if I told you that your loose change, the very pennies that slip through your fingers, could be worth more than a car? I'm talking about a coin that has been hiding in plain sight all along. That's right, today we're diving into the world of the 1979 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny, and trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one, because it's worth a staggering $1.5 million. Yeah, you heard that right, a penny that could make you richer than your entire Netflix subscription fee for the next decade. If you think I'm pulling your leg, just wait. Let's break it down. Now, you might be thinking, penny? $1.5 million? That sounds like a fairy tale. And to be honest, I thought the same when I first heard about it. I've spent years just throwing pennies in a jar like they were, well, just pennies. But here's the deal, this specific penny, the 1979D, is a rarity. A real gem, a needle in a haystack. And if you happen to have one hiding in your collection, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. Now, the 1979 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't exactly rare, right? You can find them in circulation fairly easily. But, and this is the kicker, there's a specific variety of this penny that makes it so valuable. You see, in 1979, there were some minting errors that happened. And when it comes to coin collecting, those minting errors are like a VIP ticket to a private party where the entrance fee is millions of dollars. The error we're looking for here is something known as a double die obverse, a fancy term for a coin that was stamped with the image of Abraham Lincoln twice. Basically, this penny has a double feature like a movie ticket. It's got two images of Lincoln's face stacked on top of each other, and that little mistake turns this penny into a gold mine. Or should I say, a copper mine? So, how do you tell if you've got the rare double die obverse? It's actually not that hard. Look closely at Abe Lincoln's face, his cheek, his eyebrow, his nose, and you should see a double image. It's like he's been up all night at a coin convention and forgot to sleep. If you spot that, congratulations, you've got yourself a gem. Go ahead and check your old penny jar right now. I'll wait. Found one? No? Well, no worries. If you didn't find it this time, don't be too upset. Not every 1979 D-Mint mark is going to make you a millionaire, but hey, there's always next time. Just make sure you're checking your pennies closely. Sometimes, the treasure is right in front of you, like that time I found a $20 bill in an old jacket pocket that I swore I had lost forever. It's all about staying alert. But let's be real here. Finding one of these rare double die pennies is like winning the lottery. So, don't toss every 1979D into the meh pile just yet. These pennies can be worth anywhere from a few bucks for a non-error version to wait for it up to $1.5 million if it's a gem in pristine condition. And if you're lucky enough to have a mint condition 1979D double die, it could be worth even more depending on its condition, grading, and demand. Which, by the way, is why it's always a great idea to get your valuable coins professionally graded before selling. Don't make the rookie mistake of selling a fortune for pocket change. Alright, folks, I know you're probably digging through your pennies right now, and trust me, I'm rooting for you. But here's the thing, finding rare coins takes time, patience, and a little bit of luck. And when you're hunting for that elusive $1.5 million penny, it's a good idea to keep your eyes peeled, your fingers dusted, and your hopes high. Because who knows? The next coin you flip might just be worth more than the change in your pocket. If you love learning about coins and how to spot rare treasures hiding in your change, hit that subscribe button, because I've got more coin tips coming your way. From rare pennies to rare nickels and beyond, we're uncovering them all. And hey, if you found anything cool while watching today's video, drop a comment below, tell me about your favorite coin finds. I'd love to hear your stories, and who knows? Maybe you'll inspire someone else to dig through their jar of pennies too. So, until next time, keep on collecting, keep on discovering, and who knows, your next coin might just be worth millions. Don't forget to hit that like button if you learned something new, and of course, subscribe for more coin adventures. Catch you in the next one. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Imagine finding a coin in your pocket, thinking it's just another regular penny, when in reality, it's worth $1.6 million. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. In this video, we'll talk about the 1994 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, one of the most surprising finds in the world of coin collecting. It's not your average penny. And trust me, if you have one of these, you might just want to keep an eye on it. So grab your magnifying glass, and let's take a journey into the world of pennies worth millions. And I promise you, it's not as boring as it sounds. Alright, let's get into the nitty-gritty of why the 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is so special. You might be thinking, wait, a 1994 penny? Isn't that just another penny? Oh, my friend, this is where things get wild. First off, let's talk about the mint mark, or the lack of one. You see, most pennies from 1994, just like pennies from other years, were stamped with a mint mark. This little letter, usually found under Abraham Lincoln's chin, tells you where the coin was made. Most pennies have either an D4 Denver or an S4 San Francisco. But a small handful of pennies from 1994, like a secret club, were produced without a mint mark. Now, why does that matter? Because, my friend, those pennies are as rare as a unicorn in a penny jar. You've probably seen the standard 1994 pennies floating around, right? But if you've got one with no mint mark, congratulations, you're holding onto a piece of coin history. These babies weren't supposed to exist, and that's what makes them so valuable. But let's be real for a second, how often do you actually find one of these rare pennies? Well, I can tell you, it's pretty unlikely. But it happens. In fact, the first time I even heard about this penny, I thought it was a prank. I was at a coin shop, chatting with the owner about coins I thought were cool but not worth much. Then he showed me this penny, and I thought, okay, cool, it's just a penny. Then he casually dropped, this thing could be worth $1.6 million if it's in the right condition. I swear, I nearly dropped my coffee. I had no idea that something as small as a penny could be worth that much. But sure enough, I started digging into it, and turns out, this is no joke. The 1994 no-mint mark penny has become a collector's dream, fetching insane amounts at auctions if it's in top condition. So, what makes this penny worth so much? Well, it's all about rarity, baby. In the world of coin collecting, the fewer of something there are, the more it's worth. And when it comes to the 1994 no-mint mark penny, the fact that it slipped through the cracks and got out into the world, well, that's why people are shelling out huge sums of money to own one. But don't get too excited just yet. There's a little catch. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. If you find a 1994 no-mint mark penny that's worn down, scratched up, or dinged up like my old high school notebook, it's not going to get you that sweet $1.6 million price tag. But if you find one that's in mint condition, with the kind of shine that can blind someone, don't stare directly at it. Trust me, you're looking at big bucks. Let's talk about some specifics. A penny with no mint mark from 1994 was made because of a mistake at the minting facility. Some pennies were mistakenly pressed without the mint mark, making them far rarer than they should be. While thousands of regular 1994 pennies were made with mint marks, only a small fraction made it out without them. So, if you have one, you're holding on to something that might not have been intended to exist. And that's what makes it so special. Now, I know what you're thinking, this is all cool, but how do I actually find one of these things? Well, let me tell you about the time I found my first valuable penny. It wasn't a 1994 no mint mark, unfortunately. But it was a 1955 double die error penny. I was just going through a jar of loose change I had lying around, and out popped this shiny penny. I was like, okay, cool. Another penny. Then something caught my eye. The date looked a little off, so I checked it out under a magnifying glass. And bam, there it was, a double die error. Now, I didn't sell it for $1 million, but I was pretty stoked to learn that this little coin was worth a lot more than I thought. It made me realize that you never know when you might stumble upon a treasure, especially in your pocket change. So, if you're out there checking your pennies, keep your eyes peeled. Coins like the 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny don't just show up every day, but you never know when that jackpot might be in your pocket. Alright, folks, now that you know why the 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is worth a staggering $1.6 million, it's time to go dig through your penny jar or check your piggy bank for any hidden treasures. Keep in mind, the odds of finding one of these rare pennies are slim, but it's definitely worth a shot. So, if you've learned something new today, or if I've got you dreaming about finding that next $1 million coin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll be back with more tips, tricks, and strategies to help you spot valuable coins and make your collection a little more valuable. And hey, if you've got any cool coin stories or tips of your own, drop them in the comments below. Let's talk coins, and who knows, maybe you'll find that next big score. Hey, coin lovers! Have you ever found a penny on the ground and thought, hey, maybe this could be worth a little something? Well, let me tell you, if you ever find a 1993 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, you might want to hold on to it. It could be worth a lot more than your average penny. We're talking $1.7 million here. Yes, you heard that right, $1.70 million. If you're curious about how this little piece of history can turn into big bucks, stick around. I promise, it's going to be worth your time, but first, I've got to ask, how many of you have ever found a penny and thought, well, it's just a penny, right? Raise his hand. Yeah, I've been there. I'll admit, I used to toss pennies aside like they were just some leftover change from a fast food meal. But then, one day, I found out about these rare pennies, and let me tell you, it completely changed my outlook on coin collecting. So, if you're sitting on some change right now, don't go tossing it into a jar just yet. You might be holding onto something that could pay for your next vacation. Or, your retirement. Alright, now let's get into the nitty-gritty of today's coin, the 1993 D mint mark Lincoln penny. Now, I know what you're thinking, a penny? Really? But trust me on this one, this penny isn't your average 1-cent piece. This little guy is rare, valuable, and worth a lot of attention. So, let's start with the basics. This penny was minted in 1993 at the Denver Mint, hence the D mint mark. At first glance, it looks just like any other penny you'd find in your pocket or under the couch cushions. But there's a specific reason this penny has soared in value, and it has everything to do with a little thing called rarity. You see, the 1993 D mint mark penny was produced in huge numbers, but a few of them slipped through the cracks with some unusual features. Those features, combined with the fact that they're so hard to find in top condition, make them incredibly valuable, and now, for the kicker, some of these pennies have been sold for up to $1.7 million. Can you even imagine that? I mean, you might be looking at the pennies in your jar right now and wondering, is this the one? Sadly, most of us aren't going to find that kind of jackpot, but the fact that it's out there is pretty exciting, don't you think? But how exactly do you find one of these elusive pennies? Well, first off, you're not going to just go to a bank and ask for a roll of 1993 pennies. You'll have to do some serious searching. Many collectors find these rare pennies from their loose change, but the trick is knowing what to look for. The ones that fetch the big bucks are in pristine condition, no scratches, no discoloration, no damage. A shiny, nearly flawless 1993 D penny with no imperfections is what you're after. And now, I know you're thinking, but how can I tell if my 1993 D penny is worth a fortune? Good question. First, you'll want to check for the obvious, make sure it's the D mint mark. Then, examine the penny carefully for any unusual errors, like doubling in the design or strange die breaks. Some collectors even look for pennies that have certain color variations or unusual wear patterns. Here's a quick story. A few years back, I found a 1993 penny in the parking lot of my local grocery store. I picked it up thinking it was just another dirty old coin, but I kept it because, well, I'm a coin nerd. I ended up doing some research, and sure enough, it was a 1993 D penny. Now, before you get all excited, let me just say it wasn't worth a fortune. It wasn't mint condition, and I couldn't spot any noticeable errors. But I'll never forget that moment when I thought, what if this is it? What if this is the big find? Turns out it wasn't. But hey, it got me thinking more seriously about what might be hiding out there in my other loose change. So, what do you do if you think you have one of these rare pennies? First, have it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service. This will determine its condition and value. Once you know it's in top-notch shape, you could sell it to a collector or auction house and watch the bidding wars begin. Of course, not every 1993 D penny is going to be worth millions. But the more you understand how to spot rare coins and educate yourself about coin values, the more likely you'll find that hidden treasure. Coin collecting isn't just about making money, it's about learning the history, the craftsmanship, and the stories behind the coins. Plus, who wouldn't love the thrill of finding a coin that could change their life? Alright, folks, I know this has been a lot to take in, but here's the bottom line, that 1993 D mint mark Lincoln penny could be hiding in your pocket, just waiting for you to find it. And who knows, if you get lucky, it might be worth a small fortune. Of course, don't expect to find $1 million penny under your pillow like some kind of fairy tale. But you never know, your next trip to the grocery store could turn into the discovery of a lifetime. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could be worth big bucks, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss an update. I've got plenty of coin tips, tricks, and stories to share with you, and who knows? Maybe your next video will help you spot that 1 in a million coin. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting! Keep your eyes on your change, and remember, it's not always just a penny. Sometimes, it's a jackpot waiting to happen. Don't forget to subscribe, and leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you've got a penny that you think could be worth millions. I'd love to hear your stories. Keep collecting, keep learning, and most importantly, keep having fun with it.